I think as a creative, one of the biggest issues, or I don't want to even use the word issue, one of the biggest challenges that sometimes I face is being able to balance between delivering a creative work that I love and also being able to satisfy a client. Right. Personally, I believe that as create like the creative field, we being in the creative world, like we are probably supposed to create our work, and then the people that love it will just come and buy the work. But when you are dealing with let's say people's input on how to create the work, when you're dealing with how to go about the whole process, I think sometimes it can be a challenge, right? Or it can be a really big like stumbling block to be able to deliver the kind of work that you are looking to deliver for clients, right? And I say this because I think especially last year 2025, one of the things that I realized that I was running into was being able to deliver a work that I personally love, and then also also making sure that my clients are satisfied with the work that I was delivering to them, right? Sometimes maybe I could do a work, right? Let's say I could do a work, or even it could be photo, video. I could do any of those one, and I would personally really love the edits. Like, we can start off with the edits, right? I would really love the way that the edits, the way that everything is coming out, how everything is going about in the process, right? And I'll be so happy to deliver the work to the client, and then sometimes you send it to them, and then they'll be like, oh, maybe it's too red, it's too green, it's too whatever thing that bothers them. So they will come up with whatever things that may be bothering them. And personally, it's one of the toughest things, and I think it's one of the hard things that sometimes when I run to is very hard for me, because sometimes personally I feel like when I would really love the work that I've created, or I would really love the final edits that I have done, but because they don't love it, it becomes very hard for me to be able to balance that. Okay, how can I also deliver what they want, right? And sometimes I've also realized that sometimes they will come with notes, or they can come with, okay, can you change this, or can you do this for me? But as you are making those changes, it doesn't really work, or it doesn't look good. But here you are, that you are also finding yourself in a way that they are paying you, so you need to be able to find a way to put your ego aside and be able to deliver the work that they are requesting for. So this whole video is pretty much about how I go about things, right? And I'm still navigating through it. I don't even see that. I don't think I have the answer yet, but how I think I go about things in making sure that sometimes I give customer satisfaction, or I make sure that I'm able to deliver the work that the customers or the clients really work, right? And I'll piggyback again to photos and stuff. And then photos, especially photos, is one of the places that sometimes I really find myself in that dilemma. When you are creating something for yourself, it's fun. You have like 100% control over everything. You have 100% control about how the project is going to come out. You have 100% control about pretty much the input, everything that goes about. Even if, let's say, you are working with a team or whatever, there is that what do you call it, there's that sense of you have control over it. But when you are working for a client, right, is pretty much about you being able to bring their vision to life for them. And then sometimes they may have a vision, the vision that they may have, the best ways that it may look good, right? But at the same time too, it can also be a hassle, because maybe that is not what the client is looking for. Like, let's say the client is looking for you to create an ad, or let's say Apple comes to you and then they are like, oh, we want you to create this ad for us, this commercial, this Apple ad or whatever. You shoot it, you light it, everything. Even on the day of the shoot, they are on set, they see how everything is going, they love it, everything. But then you go into the editing room there, and then maybe they're like, okay, maybe it's too warm, it's too cold, it's too that, it's too this and that, right? Being able to put your heart down and doing what is best for the client is the best way to go about it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's because of them that you find yourself there, right? It's because of them that you find yourself access to that project that they are doing for you. So even though it may not go as you intended or as you wanted it, the way that you planned, not even, I don't want to even use the word the way that you planned it, even though you had a vision of how it should look like and everything, especially maybe the kind of shots that should come in, the kind of like edits, which frames that you want, in which frames to choose and everything. I think it's best that we need to realize very quickly, and we need to understand that At the end of the day, they are paying us to create the work, and we need to be able to put, I don't want to even use the word ego, but we need to sometimes put our creative lens down and try to understand where the client is also coming from. When there's a lot of pre-production being done before you even before you even get on set, I believe that about 70% of the work has already been done. Everybody's pretty much on the same page, right? Because, like, let's say with videos, with edits, you'll be able to at least give some examples of how you see it coming, the colors, the lighting, the editing, the color grade, right? You can do all this, especially in your pre-production treatment. And if the client agrees to it, right, then at the end of the day, we know that everybody is on board, everybody is on the same page to be able to deliver the what we are all agreed on. If you don't do pre-production, especially when you get on set and maybe you shoot a project and then you are kind of like ringing it, see how everything is gonna be, I think that is some of the instances, that's some of the moments where sometimes we run into these problems. When I do a lot of pre-production and then send images, send the PDF treatments and all those kind of things, all those kind of stuff, by the time that I'm sitting on set, everybody knows what is going on, how the project is going to come out, what we are shooting, how we are going to shoot it, how it's going to look in camera, how it's going to look in editing, how it's going to look in color grade. And it has really saved me a lot, right? It has really saved me a lot. I think I probably need to do like a deep dive into how maybe I approach pre-production with clients and all that, right? It's one of those things where I started doing that. I think it has really saved me a lot, right? And sometimes too, you could do the pre-production with a client, send them the mood board, send them everything, and at the end of the day, they will see it and then they'll be like, okay, maybe can we still make adjustment? There is always gonna be that. And then I think personally too, we need to learn to give room for the clients to make adjustments whenever that they see fit, right? We may not like the adjustments, but like as I've initially said, that we need to learn to put our ego aside and deliver what works best for the clients, right? We need to be able to say, okay, cool, even though I may not like what the adjustment that they're doing, but if they think it may sell properly for them, then I would go about it. I don't think because they say you just do it, but I think if you can also find a way to maybe sit down with them and explain where you are coming from on it, why maybe these kind of shots will work best, or this kind of shot will tell the story best, right? I think you need to be able to at least make that step to talk to them, to kind of like explain to the clients that, hey, this, then this, maybe this stuff it tells, or maybe this looks weird, maybe this will not tell the story, or maybe it takes the project out or whatever. When we're able to explain it to them, and then at the end of the day they still go like, oh, hey, nah, we still want it this way, or we still want it that way, I think that's when we need to still be able to put our ego aside and be like, okay, cool, I respect that, and make the necessary changes for them, right? It is not every client work that sometimes you will get to maybe post it on your profile or put it out there with your name attached to it. It can be very painful, especially maybe it's a project that you really could tell like it was like you could elevate it to a certain standard, but sometimes maybe they want it maybe very simple or maybe in a certain way, right? It can be very hard. And I think this also leads me into being able to create your own, maybe let me use the word director's cut for the project, right? Sometimes it's okay to deliver what the client want for, or how they want it, deliver it to them, satisfy them, and then come and sit down and also maybe re-edit it or do it in a way that you thought how you wanted it. So do your own director's cut. We seen people like as if Zack Snyder do their own stuff, where sometimes like they are doing a movie like the what do you call it, was it the Justice League? Yeah, he did his own Justice League Snyder's cut and then all that. I think that is something that we need to probably learn to embrace and do our own, maybe director's cut or cinematographer's cut, right? Where once we've delivered the client's work to them and then sent it to them, we make our own version of it, because I think then you can also put it out there, because sometimes those versions of it really kind of like represents how we work and how we do things, because it can be very painful, because sometimes you can have a client maybe bringing certain notes or certain adjustments, and at the end of the day you begin to see that the way that the project look doesn't reflect how you like to market yourself or how you really see your work as, right? Sometimes it could be like it's totally different, or it's just the editor changes is just not, it doesn't to you, maybe the standard that you see your projects, it doesn't really reflect that for you, or you're not really satisfied with what they want. I believe it's okay to deliver to the client what they want, their cut, their version, what they want, deliver it to them, give them exactly what they want, and then once you've done that, you come and sit down and do your own version, your cut, what you think you are satisfied with, and add it to your portfolio and put it out there, because at the end of the day, you satisfy the client, and you've also been able to do your own version. And one thing I've also realized is sometimes even if you do your own version, I add it to the clients deliverables, which is also very good, because sometimes it actually yield a very good results for me, because sometimes I can do their own version, make their own changes, whatever that they want, put it in their folder for them, and I also make sure to add my version, how I think or how I see it, and then give it to them. And sometimes before you realize, they will post their version and they will also post my version, because to them it feels like maybe I've given them I've over delivered to them. I've given them I've over delivered, and which is a really good thing, because sometimes you can also elevate how clients see you, right? So you can create the client's card, make your own director's card, and if you're okay with it, you can just put it in the folder and send those two to them, because at least they know what they want, and then if they like yours too, they will just do it, and then you just see. So that's how, for me, it's one of those things where I've seen where I'm using it to pretty much learn not to like bump heads into clients very much, and then making sure that we are on the same page, right? And so to kind of like summarize everything, I think my first thing is like, we need to learn to do a lot of pre-production, because when you do pre-production, before you set on set to shoot, to do the project, to hit record, everybody is on the same page, everybody knows what we are doing, and then we get it from there. But even if you do the pre-production, at the end of the day, during the post-production, there's still notes that comes in. We need to be able to also give room for changes, for the clients to come with notes and then all that, right? And when they come with notes, we also need to be able to explain certain things, especially with the notes that they're coming with, explain certain things to them, that okay, maybe this and this and that, maybe there's a reason why it's better to do it this way and all that. If at the end of the day you do that and they still like, no, I prefer this, no, give me this, give me that, then you can go ahead and give them exactly what they want, right? It's not about ego, it's about being able to deliver very good customer satisfaction, deliver to the clients what they want. That is something that I do, where it's like I deliver to them what they want and make sure that they are satisfied. And then at the end of the day, I'm not obligated to post or to to post or add to my portfolio what I've delivered to their clients. Sometimes I can just deliver it to them, and then that's it. I will never post it, or I'll never do anything about it. I just deliver it. Some works are like that, where you just do it to just satisfy the client, and some works are okay, cool, I just want to add it to my portfolio. And sometimes if you really like it, you can also do your own version of it. You can do your own cut on how you see things, and then just post your own cut and then do it. So this is my way of learning to deal with I don't want to use the word deal with clients, but learning to deliver customer satisfaction whilst also being a creative person, because like art is very subjective, right? And that is one of the hardest things about it. Like art is very subjective. So something, I may look at something and think that this thing is very beautiful, and someone can see it and then they'll be like, I don't get it, I don't understand it, right? So when you're also getting paid to create art for certain people, sometimes it's not about you liking it, but it's about making sure that the person that is paying you also love the work that you are creating. So my name is Kwame, and this is just my little two piece about this whole thing and how do what I'm